What's going on, everyone? Tonight, I'm at Howl-O-Scream's here at Busch Gardens, and I am flying solo, all by myself, no Taylor. So a few weeks ago, Taylor and I, along with some friends, braved our way through 9 houses at Halloween Horror Nights over at Universal Orlando, and we had a blast. And thanks to Tommy and Walter, we got to skip all the lines. And so tonight, I thought it was best to do the same thing here. So I also purchased a front-of-the-line Fear Pass so that I can ensure that I get to see all 6 houses here tonight. And I gotta say that I'm super excited about it. No lines. It's gonna be a blast.
It looks like some of the scare zones are starting to become active. I've been here since 5. They actually let you in early at 5, so you can kind of get in and ride some of the attractions before the park officially closes at 6. But then you're kind of waiting around for an hour, maybe an hour and a half until everything's getting started. So there are some guys out here that are walking around. Let's see what it's like.
Alright, so if you're wondering maybe the best place to start, for me, I think I'm going to actually start at number 1, which is the Unearthly Scare House in the Scare Zone, which I've actually already gone through. It's some zombies. I'm going to come back later when it's a little bit darker. You start here and then work your way clockwise around the park. It's going to save your legs a lot of walking, and I think it's going to be a little bit easier to do for the park. So I've got the front-of-the-line Fear Pass. So I'm actually going to use it over here. I don't know that I can actually record inside of any of the houses. There's a ton of food and beverage options here too, along with some DJs, multiple scare zones, and like some glow party things. So it's going to be a fun night. It's going to be a lot better as soon as the sun goes down. Alright, so I just went through the first house, which is Unearthed. A little weird, a little creepy. I think it's a little bit more dark than most of the houses that are over at Halloween Horror Nights. A little bit more gory and bloody, I think. But very cool. I think the only thing that I did not like about that was that there's a group in front of us, or in front of me, I should say, and they were like using a flashlight, which they give you if you need one at the beginning of the house, which I wish I would have known, because if I would have seen that, I would have waited a little while before they went through. But so far, pretty cool on the very first house. Alright, so I've got some food. I haven't eaten any dinner yet. I was kind of holding out until I got here. I've got the Philly Melt. It's $8.99, and I've got the Dark Spirits, which is a alcoholic beverage here. It's grape cranberry, vodka, and something else. Tastes absolutely amazing. One downfall, I got it in the souvenir glass, which is $13.99, but they served it with way too much ice. So it's like only a couple of ounces of the drink and a little bit of ice. So refills are like $8.99. I'm gonna do a refill and ask for very much less ice. Philly Melt sandwich, excellent. It's basically like a Philly cheesesteak, peppers, onions, really, really good. Alright, so just did the Slaughterhouse. Definitely probably good for 17 and older. Very graphic, a lot of like dead bodies, people hacked up, like, you know, inside body parts. The one was like, spoiler alert, a lady is like inside of a grinder being like ground up into like, you know, beef or ground meats. So really crazy, a very good one, definitely kind of scary, if, you know, because it's like a slaughterhouse, like for pigs and cows. So might want to avoid that one if you're really scared of that kind of stuff. All right, so this is the area that is like basically for 17 and over. I've got to say a little bit of it is kind of graphic, but not a whole lot.
There's really not. This really isn't any type of like scare zone. It's really just more of like some like graphic content of like bodies, fake bodies, I should say, that are like kind of decapitated or cut in half or like thrown in the garbage. But they do have some really cool like scare characters that are just walking around. They're not really trying to scare you. They're more just trying to interact and make you have a good time. Yeah.
Hi! That's up, buddy. How you doing? Have fun in DOA, alright? Don't take nothing out of my camp, understood?
So far I've done 5 of the 6 houses. Unfortunately, it's starting to rain. It's almost 10 o'clock, so I've got to get through one more house. I've done all the scare zones. I think so far out of the 5 that I've done, Insomnia has actually been my favorite. It just has a little bit more like jump scare factors in there, and it might have been because I was in a group of ladies. I don't know how it happened, but I just got in between a group of ladies, and it was like being scared on either side, and it was actually really funny and a lot of fun. So to the last house.
Hi vlog! Hey vlog, we're at Tampa, Busch Gardens, Howl-O-Scream. Stay down!
Alright, so just did the Freshwater Bayou house. Probably the best one yet. Overload on sensories and jumping out at you. There was like a bunch of girls. The one girl got so scared she actually just ran past everybody to come out of the house. Hilarious. Great house. Tied for second, or tied for first, I think, with the Insomnia. Alright, so I think this is going to wrap up my Fear Fest for tonight, or the Howl-O-Screams here at Busch Gardens. I had a lot of fun. I gotta say that some of the scare zones could have been a little bit more immersive, but the first one that I did, which was kind of like some walking zombies, was probably the best. A lot of good character interaction. It's a small area. Yeah.
Hello vlog.
Alright, yeah, so a lot of fun here. They had some really interesting photo interactions with some of the characters. Specifically, they were pretty much all women, which was kind of weird, like the nurses, and they really stick out in my mind. But the houses were very good. The last 2, which I did, was the Insomnia and the Freshwater Bayou, I think were probably the best. Far more immersive, a lot more like jump scaring out. I just happened to see the shadows like popping in right here. So a lot of fun. I think this was a really great value and a great price. The cost of the ticket for a pass member was about $35. And then the front of the line Fear Pass, which got you to the front of the line for all the houses, was pretty much about the same price, about $40. So for 80 bucks, you were able to come in, and it lasts from basically 5 o'clock until 1 a.m. So I'm actually leaving early. It's almost 10:30. I've done everything. So I think it's a pretty good deal. I got 2 drinks. I got some good food. But overall, I had a great time. This is something that I would definitely come back to later on, I think. So, have you ever been to Howl-O-Screams here at Busch Gardens Tampa Bay? Let us know down in the comments below, because I know we're definitely going to be back again to this and probably Halloween Horror Nights. So I'm officially exiting the park, and they even have still some people out here.